It's over! Catholicism is over. Allow me to explain. Last week, the Catholic Church unveiled its official mascot for their 2025 Jubilee celebration, a little anime girl named Luche, which means light. And immediately, the internet went to work doing what it does best, making dirty pictures of the character. The one you see on screen was the only one I could post. All the rest I found are very not safe for work. Most people would say, so what? It's just the church's attempt to bring in more younger people by using anime characters. They've been using puppet shows and cartoons for at least 50 years to try and trick kids into becoming lifelong Christians. Gotta get them young. But it's more than that. It's a last, desperate attempt to save a sinking ship. A literal Hail Mary play, if you will. And it has failed. Catholics have mixed reactions, with some approving of the new mascot, while others criticized her as too modern and silly to represent Catholicism. But there are much bigger issues at play. According to the Pew Research Center, since 2007, the percentage of adults who say they are atheist, agnostic, or, quote, nothing in particular, unquote, has grown from 16 to 29%. During this time, the share of U.S. adults who identify as Christian has fallen from 78% to 63%. The Pew Research Center is just about the only polling organization that I believe in. They are partially funded by the John Templeton Foundation, which was formed to support progress in religious and spiritual knowledge. The Pew Research Center is honest in its research into various religious topics, even ones such as this that show a decline in Christianity for the last 20 years. Their research shows that the iceberg that is Christianity began melting back in the 90s, then really began cracking and falling away in the 2000s. As Gen X, I am taking this as our victory, a major accomplishment for our generation. We laughed them out of society when they made their play with the Satanic Panic in the 80s. We broke Christianity's 500-year reign of terror over the American people, where anything they didn't like was automatically of the devil or witchcraft. It may just be music, but Gen X loves our metal, and nobody's taking that away from us. And you're not taking our books, movies, video games, or Dungeons and Dragons either. The extremists among them still try, but all they can muster is to burn Harry Potter and Twilight books. Pathetic. So you know the internet wasn't going to let them get away with trying to come into their world of anime and take it over for their own purposes. Surprisingly, the decline of church attendance in rural areas has been as high as 50%. Many churches across the country have been forced to shut down for lack of funds to continue operating. What's even worse is that is the root cause of the rise of megachurches. The survivors had to band together to make one big church, while all the smaller ones were sold off to pay for the new one. But there are more factors that have led to the decline of Christianity. Once again, from the Gen X perspective, a lot of Catholics stopped attending services because as the hundreds of thousands of cases of Catholic priest pedophilia came to light, it was too much for them to carry on as a Catholic. And 3 weeks ago, it was announced that the Los Angeles Catholic Church will pay out over $1.5 billion for all the cases of what they call clergy abuse in a new record statement. They are finally being held accountable for hiding decades and decades of abuse of children. And add on top of that the world's hatred for scum like Joel Osteen, who preaches prosperity gospel, where he comes right out and says that God wants him to be rich so that he can lead his flock. The shyster bought the Houston Rockets basketball team's former stadium to host his sermons. I also take this as a personal victory for the First United Church of Cthulhu. We have outlasted all the various competing cults surrounding the Cthulhu mythos. We'll see if the new ones can go the distance, though they'll never catch up if they do, because we ain't going nowhere. And over the ensuing years, as we continue to rise, Christianity will continue to fall. And we will fight all tyrannical religious demagogues who seek to violate the freedoms of the American people. Say it with me, because we are the first united mother-shoving Church of Cthulhu. So be sure to follow us for more horror, occult, and Lovecraft madness. Until next time, Cthulhu Fatagan.